What's up, it's Tom. Thanks for clicking on this video. We are going to talk about this past weekend's action, bringing this a little bit later than usual as the Twins are playing on Monday evening up to an early lead against Atlanta, so hopefully that holds. But big key player to talk about right now in the Twins system. No, not Walker Jenkins. We'll get to him in a moment. No, not Alex Jackson, though he's probably the most discussed player on the Minnesota Twins at the moment. We'll also get to him in a moment. No, Luis Fragoza. Luis Fragoza is the dude. Had a great week. He's having a great season. A couple big things happened for him today. So let's talk about Luis Fragoza for a sec before we get into the action. 19-year-old Venezuelan. He's kind of settling in at first base, but he's played a lot of third, a lot of right field, a little bit of left field, even a little bit of center field. But again, seems to be playing a lot more first base of late. Right-handed hitter, throws right-handed as well. Just today was named the FSL Player of the Week and was also promoted up to Cedar Rapids. So that's exciting. He's going to debut with the Colonels expected tomorrow. So prior to being promoted to Fort Myers this year, he had 2 home runs in 101 career games between the FCL and the DSL. 2 homers in 101 games. With Fort Myers, he hit 14 homers in just 59 games. So this power breakout is just enormous, and a kid obviously just growing into his strength. A big, broad-shouldered, strong guy. But really, I think what's special about Luis Fragoza is his ability to get under the ball. He can launch the ball. He can get the ball in the air. He just seems very comfortable with that. His swing, his pitch recognition tendencies just really lend themselves to him getting the ball in the air. And then also not just the power. The big knock on him that I've had is he just never drew any walks. Like one of the lowest walk rates in the system, one of the lowest walk rates in the Florida State League. Through July, from the time he was promoted through July, 10 walks and 201 plate appearances with the Mighty Muscles. That's about a 5% walk rate. So far in August, 10 walks in 44 plate appearances. So 10 walks in his first 201 plate appearances with the Muscles. Now 10 walks in his last 44 plate appearances. That is a remarkable turnaround. This is a huge development for Luis Fragoza, and it earned him a promotion. So we're going to mention him a few times as we roll through here because, with a big week, he's going to be all over the star scoreboard of course. But let's move on to the results and records. Here are the results for the weekend. Twins were oddly off on Friday because they had that Field of Dreams game, but unfortunately lost both Saturday and Sunday to the Phillies. Here are the win-loss records. The Saints are in the hunt for the second half in the International League second half standings in their division. So we'll kind of talk about that more as things progress. We're still about a month out from the AAA season ending. But just to be aware of that. But Twins now 5 games below 500. So they're just completely done, completely underwater in the American League at this point, right? Actually, no. Ridiculously, no. Baltimore, with a 61-63 record, is currently sitting in a wild card, a postseason spot. The Twins are only a game and a half back in the wild card still, despite being 60-65. I keep saying it. I'll say it again. Somebody is going to get hot and take that spot among this. I mean, what are there? Six teams that are fighting for this final spot. Boston's actually slowed down a ton. They're still comfortably in that spot. 5 games up in that spot, but there's just so much back and forth between these teams. Toronto is the hottest team of the bunch at the moment. I don't think anybody would be surprised if Toronto really caught fire for a while. But Twins somehow still in the mix, but they need to start playing better, absolutely. And hopefully this first inning from Atlanta is a sign of things to come. Good team, one of the better teams in baseball. All right, so let's move on to the man of the hour, the guy everybody wants to talk about, Alex Jackson. He's probably looking around, seeing now, wow, I'm really popular. Everybody must love me. Everybody's glad to see me back. He was outrighted to St. Paul, cleared waivers, and then immediately returned to the Twins because Austin Martin was placed on the injured list. So it was not Walker Jenkins as everybody was hoping, and they obviously don't watch the channel. Everybody who watches the channel knows that Jenkins is going to be up on the 24th, a week from today, and it's just chill about it. We knew it wasn't going to be today. So yeah, Alex Jackson takes Austin Martin's spot. I guess, I mean, the play here is Austin Martin. What was his role? You might focus on his position in an outfield. But what was Austin Martin's role? He was a platoon right-handed bat, a guy who played against lefties. Walker Jenkins is a left-handed hitter. Alex Jackson is a right-handed hitter. I guess that was the replacement. It wasn't, hey, let's get an outfielder. It was, hey, let's get a right-handed bat up here. And that's what the way they went. So it is what it is. The Twins signed Herman Marquez, former longtime Colorado Rocky, to a minor league deal and assignment to St. Paul. We'll talk about him in a sec. Even if he doesn't factor in at all in the major league club, the Saints really need innings, and he'll be a big help there regardless. I usually only do news. I should mix in more notes here when there's not a bunch of notable stuff. I want to talk about Vahn Lackey. No, there is no news on him. He was not promoted yet. But let's just talk about him for a sec. Only hitting 200, but it's with a 365 OBP, only a 350 slugging, so a 715 OPS, nothing wrong with that total, getting on base a ton. Still looking for his first homer through 11 games. But in 6 games caught, he's already thrown out 6 base stealers. He's caught 35% of the base stealers that ran on him, and the league average for the Florida State League is 24%. So that's a great sign from him. And, I was kind of expecting, maybe not expecting, but wondering if that was going to happen today. So a couple promotions that would have been fun that didn't happen. But, there's really no rush to get Lackey up to Cedar Rapids. Anyway, let's move on to the stars of Friday. Third star, Jake Rucker for Wichita, went 2 for 2 with a walk on the RBI, which was the only run batted in a 1-0 win. So huge for him to come through in that spot, and obviously a big-time pitching performance in that game with Preston Johnson being the starter. This is a guy they signed out of Indy ball, combined with 2 other pitchers on the shutout. 5 innings of 1-hit ball, no walks, 5 strikeouts, and again, as a team, they did not give up a run in that game. We'll shout out the other 2 guys in just a moment. But first, our Murphy Hernandez for Fort Myers. Guy stole 4 bases in a single game on Friday. 3 for 4 with a walk, 4 stolen bases. Murphy Hernandez has 41 stolen bases in 49 games with Fort Myers. I'll say it again. 41 steals in only 49 games played with the Mighty Muscles. A big, tall, lanky kid, center fielder, takes advantage of that speed out in the field, and just is in there to run. He's just going to run. And yeah, that's all he did on Friday. 4 steals. Crazy. The other 2 pitchers that finished off that shutout for Wichita, that 1-0 win. Sam Armstrong and Paulshan Pascalato, they get honorable mentions. Justin Mitrovic as well. And then Ramiro Dominguez and Isaiah Lane for Fort Myers had some good games filling up the stat sheet. Moving on to the 3 stars of Saturday. Third star, Cody Morissette in the first game of the Saints. You may have seen on the results they had a postponement on Friday, so they played a doubleheader on Saturday. Double and a home run for him. Second star, Jake Rucker, again, had another good one. 2 for 3 with a double and a home run, and 5 runs batted in for Jake Rucker on Saturday. Guy who has been around a while, 2021 7th round pick. 367 career games with Wichita does Jake Rucker have. Then first star, a guy we've been talking about plenty, Luis Fragoza, 2 for 3 with a home run, a walk, a stolen base. Again, drawing walks, stealing bases as well. We'll circle back to that in a moment here. But Saturday's honorable mentions, Kendry Rojas, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Kyle DeBarge, Yasser Mercedes, and Ramiro Villanueva. Moving on to Sunday. 3 stars of Sunday. Third star, Colby Turner, second baseman for Fort Myers, a 2026 draftee. Had a 3-hit game and stole a base for Fort Myers. Second star, Aaron Rozek of St. Paul. Another really good pitching performance. The Saints won 2-1. So their pitching staff gets a nod for game context for sure. I believe that was in the 4th inning that the Saints scored their last run. So that pitching staff really had to hold up. And Aaron Rozek, 3 no-hit innings, though he did walk 3. But still, high pressure, kind of a high leverage with that 1-run lead. And then the first star, once again, Luis Fragoza, who played first base on Sunday. 1 for 2 with a double, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch. So reached base 4 times, stole 2 more bases. So in addition to all that power, Fragoza also went 15 for 17 on stolen base attempts with the Mighty Muscles. So I don't think he's the fastest guy, but he obviously has a good feel for reading pitches and knowing how to run. He can run. I'm not trying to make it sound like he can't run at all, but I wouldn't expect him to continue to steal bases at this rate as he moves up. But clearly, a guy who has a knack for that as well, among many other exciting things about Luis Fragoza. So get that name firmly on your radar if it isn't already. Moving on to the honorable mentions. Again, that Saints game, 2-1 victory. Herman Marquez in his system debut started that one. Then Garrett Acton and Marco Raya finished it off for the Saints. Caden Kendall gets an honorable mention. Guys playing really well for Wichita. Then J.P. Smith II for Cedar Rapids getting a shout out as well. Moving on to the star scoreboard for the year. A lot of staying the same, and Marek Houston has a move. We'll circle back to him. But Luis Fragoza cracks the top 10, climbing over Walker Jenkins, who has 32 points. So he gets in there. Big week, sneaks into the final spot on the leaderboard. He is the front runner by a lot in the August Star Hitter of the Month race. So he's going to be tough to beat this month. But Marek Houston, what's going on with Marek Houston? Let's just bring up the splits here from Baseball Reference. See his total year-to-date numbers on the top, and then it's month by month after that. Just nobody could get him out in June, and then he slugged like crazy in July. Just 5 home runs, 7 doubles in the month of July of .611 slugging percentage. And then, ever since the calendar turned here, it's been slow. And he's also getting thrown out on the bases more often. Thrown out 4 times and with 7 steals. You can see before that, he'd only been thrown out 4 times and had stolen 40 bases. So, just the performance, that's maybe looking a little too deeply into things, that stolen base success rate, but it's something we can point at. I think it's pretty easy to say he's kind of slowing down a bit, a little worn out as the season goes on here, approaching 100 games played. Hey, I get it. And I'm sitting here just talking about minor league baseball, and I'm slowing down as we get into mid-August myself here. So that's why this one's getting out a little bit later. I've been a little bit less on top of the ball, I feel like, the last week or so, but it's been a lot of games we've been scoring. We haven't missed a single game. Started doing these daily, switched them to twice weekly. Sometimes I've had to write them and just share them as posts because I just couldn't record, but we have not missed scoring a single day of action so far for this silly little star scoreboard. So we're gonna finish that out. We're gonna finish strong. But just like Marek Houston, maybe we're slowing down a bit, but that's okay. So thank you for checking this one out. Check out Limestone Pipeline. Each Monday, I do a look back at the past week of performances. That's for free for everybody. Luis Fragoza came up a bunch on that. On the pitching side, there was Adrian Bajorquez, who was kind of the feature guy there. So check that out. Jamie Cameron's been doing lots of great stuff lately as well. His article on Ryan Gallagher is worth checking out. Gallagher continues to pitch well, and he talked about the weaknesses of the system. I'm likely going to be doing something on highlight-wise on Luis Fragoza for Limestone Pipeline soon as well. But thanks for checking this one out. I appreciate you. We'll talk again soon.